Why, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Truly Odd podcast, where we bring you the latest in game news and movie news. I'm your host, Joe Garcia. So grab your controllers, get your popcorn, and let's go ahead and dive right into the news, shall we? Starting off with our game news topics of the day. Our first game news topic of the day is we have a official announcement trailer for uh, NBA 2K26. So, forgive me, guys, I'm making some adjustments here. See better. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. And again, I don't know where my headphones are, so we're gonna go ahead and mute the mic and take a look at this. Now, mind you, again, some trailers tend to have music and stuff like that, so I can't play it for too long because YouTube's a bit of a bitch. But let's see how it turns out, shall we?
The moments that last forever go beyond what we see on the court.
You are the finals MVP.
These moments start with the ball, a dream, and a relentless will to win. They're a culmination of every effort put into the game since they first.
I'm curious if this is going to be the first one with actually the women's basketball league being implemented into the game. I haven't been playing 2K for quite some time, actually. Again, I'm not a fan of cookie cutter games like Madden and 2K. So, but I am very curious. The women NBA edition is going to be pretty interesting. I think it's the first time they've implemented that, so I think that's really nice. Now, let me know if I'm mistaken if they've implemented that into other games, but I think this is really cool and really great that they're doing that. And 2K is a fun game, and it's a cookie cutter game. But yeah, just want to let you guys know that that's coming out. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you excited for 2K26? And are you happy that the women NBA is getting some recognition in these games now? Moving on to our next topic of the day. Looks like we have a nice gameplay commentary from Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, which is dropping, I think, at the end of this month. Now, I'm not going to play the full commentary. If you were interested in it, again, I'll have everything in the description down below if you want to go watch that for yourself. But I was going to play the video as we talked about how things are looking. So this is going to be on mute because it's, I think some of the developers are talking over and commenting over the gameplay. And yeah, if you guys are interested in this platformer style Ninja Gaiden game, I highly recommend you guys check it out. Now, I am a Ninja Gaiden fan, but I'm more of the original games, and haven't played any of the remakes as of yet, but I will probably get to that when I have the opportunity. But this seems to be a really fun, interesting looking platformer. We'll take a look at a couple minutes of gameplay here so you guys could get an idea and a feel for what this game is going to look and play like. I'm a bit curious too. Is the Well, games like this, when they develop them, do they choose the pixelated look on purpose? Do they want that retro look and retro feel? I always get curious about things like. Yeah, it looks like we got a cool game hub. Let's see if we could find the boss fight here. I think it should be 10 minutes in. I think. I'm not sure if this is the boss fight or not, but oh, that's cool. There's a shadow fighting behind the area. It had a boss fight. Kind of skimmed it earlier. I thought I found. Oh, it's over here. Here it is. Dialogue, and here's the boss fight for one of the bosses. Art looks pretty cool. It looks like a pretty interesting game. I had an idea for developing a game similar to this style, but I am no artist, so I'd have to do everything with stick figures and then readjust as I get art coming in, and probably end up doing that one of these days. We'll have to wait and see if I want to do that or not. Just finding the time now that's the problem, but this looks really cool, really fun. Let's see if they're still commenting.
Hypercharge attack. And if you deal this hypercharge attack to the boss, you can start.
Yeah, see, they got things, but yeah, this looks like a fun, interesting game. It'll probably be a game I want to check out one of these days. That was pretty cool, hiding behind and graphics. But what do you guys think? Are you excited to play this Ninja Gaiden game? Are you even interested in a platformer like this? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. For me, myself, this looks like a lot of fun, and I'll probably, if I have the opportunity and I have the funds, I'll probably be picking it up and checking it out for sure. Seems like a pretty interesting game. Forgive me, I think my computer almost crashed on me right now. But anyways, moving on to our next topic before it does crash on me. Excuse me. Looks like we have more games from Xbox coming to the PlayStation. I think this is going to be the norm, and this connects to a story we're going to talk about for our last topic of the day. But it looks like we're getting Stalker 2, Hearts of Chernobyl, coming to the PlayStation. And again, this was an Xbox exclusive and is now coming to the PlayStation. And you know, a lot of games like this, forgive me guys, I'm making some adjustments, and a lot of these games and a lot of these Xbox games are coming to the PlayStation because they're not able to make their full money on just Xbox. And we're going to dive more into that into our next story, but I just wanted to let you know that that game will be coming to the PlayStation if you're interested in checking it out. If you don't know about the game, they have a trailer right here. Let's go ahead and take a look. Forgive your ears for a second. I think it's going to be blasting pretty loud. But here's the announcement for it coming to the PlayStation. Actually, let me pull this up bigger for you guys to check out. There we go.
Colonel, your men
This
are...
better be important. I'm on a serious mission here.
What is it? I thought you hate tech.
Damn right. But this is completely different. Look, I'm almost at my 100-hour mark.
Sure, Colonel, but your soldiers are turning into zombies as we speak.
Ah, those bastards.
It would have been cool if they made that a PlayStation controller instead of an Xbox. Oh, they did. That is a PlayStation-esque controller, not as much of an Xbox controller. Oh, that's pretty cool. Now, I never played the original game, so I don't know if that was typical. But, oh, sorry about that, guys. Let's go back. But, yeah, it looks like it's coming out late 2025. So if you guys are interested in checking out Stalker 2, again, I've never played either of the Stalker games, but I might have a chance to check it out now that it's going to be on PlayStation, because while I think I own I do own an Xbox, I just don't really play on it because they don't have great exclusives, and now all their exclusives are coming to PlayStation, so now there's even less of a point to get it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you interested in checking out Stalker on the PlayStation 5? Also, question for you guys. Are you happy to see Xbox games coming to PlayStation? Is it something that excites you, or is it something that worries you? It kind of worries me a bit, but that's typical for me. Again, we'll talk more about that on our last topic, which will be right after this one. Our next news segment of the day is, it appears we have some leaked footage of Blade's gameplay from Marvel Rivals. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. We're going to mute this so we don't have any music. So it looks like he has two weapon styles, which I'm curious why he's holding a sword. It's probably not fully animated. This is probably an older clip, but it looks like he can both fight with his sword and also fight with his gun at the same time. So kind of like Punisher, but instead of the shotgun, you get either the sword or you get the gun. I'm also liking some of the slashing mechanics, the way that that's looking. He looks like he's going to be a fun character to play. Kind of like a mix between Magic and Bucky minus the teleporting. So I think that's going to be really fun and really interesting. I'm curious to see what his ult is going to be, because supposedly he's going to be having that, you know, rage vampire phase. So I'm curious if he's going to be a bit unstoppable, kind of how Magic is with Darkchild, or if it's going to be something completely different, where maybe he just grabs a character, bites them, and drains them of their health. It probably gains his health back. Just there's so many options they get to do with Blade. I'm more excited for Blade than I am for Phoenix, which is going to be dropping on the 11th, which is this Friday. So if you guys are excited for Marvel Rivals, go ahead and jump in. And I think this is going to be coming next month in August, if I'm not mistaken. I think Blade's coming from August, but it's nice to see some of his gameplay footage, and I'm very curious how he's going to turn out. Are you guys excited to play as Blade? Are you looking forward to the new introduction of characters coming to Marvel Rival? They're supposedly going to be releasing one character a month, so I don't know if they're going to be able to maintain that, but that's their goal, I guess, and so that's pretty exciting. And moving on to our last topic of the day, it appears that Xbox Games Pass is profitable. Maybe? So this comes to us from Game Rant. Xbox Games Pass is profitable, despite first party costs. Now, I read through this article because I was very curious, and then they're talking about people tweeting. I guess this is an insider talking about how profitable Xbox is, and at the end of their article here, where is this? Where is it at? Where is it at? Game Pass has avoided some fate of other departments Xbox at this time being, and if it is truly profitable. So this is not confirmed. Just want to let you guys know this. We're just getting people saying it's confirmed. Unless it comes out from Microsoft themselves saying that they've made a profit on Xbox Game Pass, take everything with a grain of salt. I don't care what insiders say what, unless it's talked about in a stakeholders or in an investors meeting that it is profitable. Don't take anything as fact. So, me personally, I have two minds about this. One, I think that they are not as profitable as they would like to be. The profits that I think that they're seeing are mostly from the sales into PlayStation. Let me help you make sense of that. So they're losing a lot of money on their first party games, their exclusive games, going to Xbox Game Pass because they're not making the initial money, as we spoke about last time. The initial money that comes from releasing a game, they are not making that money from Game Pass. But what they are doing, since they're putting those games on PlayStation, they make money through PlayStation players who are interested in these first party Xbox games. Or Xbox exclusive games, but no longer going to be Xbox exclusive. So that's where they're going to be making the bulk of their money, because initially the goal, I assumed, was when they bought Bethesda was that they were going to make Bethesda's games and other games exclusive to Xbox. But what ended up happening is they probably looked at the books and realized just how much profit is coming from PlayStation. So they decided to make it a Game Pass and still release games on PlayStation. We just recently, the other day, we had the story with the head of studio from, or the former head of studio from Arcane, talking about how it's the game Xbox Game Pass is oh my god, what's the word? It's unsustainable. Sorry, threw me off for a second. But with them releasing games like Elder Scrolls Oblivion, on PlayStation, they do make that profit there. Now, that's not saying that that's Xbox Games Pass profit, but it mitigates the losses, if that makes sense. So, if they released Elder Scrolls Oblivion on Xbox Game Pass alone, then those losses would have been ridiculous and dramatic, as opposed to releasing it on PlayStation, where they actually show a profit for the first party game. So that's going to mitigate that. As far as Xbox Game Pass itself, I still believe they are operating at a loss, as far as I'm concerned. But it just looks less of a problem, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure what exactly this person is saying that they see, because this is coming from let's see. This is his tweet. If you're interested in reading the whole thing, go ahead and take a look. But honestly, the fact that they're even mentioning the PlayStation is just showing that that's where the game base is. Having PlayStation users kind of mitigate their losses is what's going to help them and benefit them. Any mention of PlayStation when it comes to Xbox Game Pass, that's what's going on. And I think it's sad. I think there was an opportunity. The fact that Xbox has one of the biggest tech companies, Microsoft, backing them, they could have really pushed with them purchasing all these studios to get all these games to be exclusive. It would have benefited them highly with the next console sales, because a lot of these games are popular overseas, and Xbox don't sell well outside the US, so this could have been their chance to do that. But it seems like they've really doubled down on Xbox Game Pass, and they're going to continue to do so. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you sad to see what what's going on with Xbox and their Game Pass stuff. Do you think they are profitable, or are you more like me where it's not really their profit from Game Pass if they're mitigating losses from PlayStation's purchases? But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And that does it for our game topics of the day, guys. We're going to go ahead and move on to our movie news topics of the day. And our first movie news topic of today is there is a new SpongeBob movie being released. Now, again, YouTube is a bit finicky, so what I'm going to do is mute this video. You guys go ahead and take a look at the visuals, and we'll discuss as it's coming along. Apparently, it's coming out this Christmas. And I'm digging the new attempt at this animation style. Now, I haven't really followed SpongeBob in quite some time. I grew up on SpongeBob. I loved SpongeBob when I was younger. The first SpongeBob movie is still hilarious to this day, and this looks to still have this similar, same comedy type. So it might be something I have to check out with maybe my nieces and nephews when I have the opportunity. Seeing Patrick there with the patch on covering his manhood is just hilarious. I think this SpongeBob is underrated and fun. But yeah, if you want to watch the whole teaser trailer, again, I'll have it linked in the description down below if you're interested in checking it out. But yeah, I'm loving to see all the return of the characters. I don't even know if the cartoon or the show is still going, or if they're just doing these movies to, continue the continue the franchise. But I am curious to see if this show is still on Nickelodeon and still going strong. I'll probably have to look into that. But let me know what you guys think of the SpongeBob trailer. Again, my apologies for the sound. I just don't want to deal with the whole YouTube bullshit with comes with looking up stuff like this. Okay, moving on to our next movie news topic of the day. It looks like Project Hail Mary has reached 4 million views in its first week, which is really good for a movie like this because it's not a sequel or not a prequel or not connected to any other prior existing franchise as far as movies are concerned. I know this is based off a book, so I think that's really good. I think it's right here. It tells you basically what it's working with and how things are going along. If you're interested in getting more details, again, I'll have this article in the description down below. But at 400 million views is really great. But the main reason I wanted to bring this up today is I think it's great that it got 4 million views. I think it's phenomenal that we're seeing this. My problem is this movie is not going to be released for an entire year, if I'm not mistaken. Unless I'm getting it confused with the Odyssey. Let me double check that for you guys. Project Hail Mary release date. Yeah, it comes out March 20th, 2026. Just in case you guys are curious, right here. March 20th, 2026, Project Hail Mary. So, this movie is a year out. Let's count the months. We got rest of July. We're going to count that. July. It came out a week ago, so July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. Got 9 months. And the problem with releasing a trailer like this 9 months ahead of schedule, and studios do this all the time, and it's a bit annoying, is while yes, you want to say, oh, we reached 400 million views, probably more than half of that is just new viewers. So we'll say 300 million were just new people interested in the movie. We probably want to see it, and all the interest for this movie is going to go away. 9 months. People are going to forget about this in 9. People like us, me and you, who are into movie news and into game news, we have our finger on the pulse, so we know what's going on. But regular moviegoing audiences, who are the majority of moviegoers, just regular people going about their day, not focused on the news as much as I am or you are, when they go to the theater, they tend to look at the trailers and stuff that have kind of been showing or been advertising in the past month. I think movies need to focus on a 3-month window. First trailer, maybe a teaser 4 months out. First trailer, 3 months out. Second trailer, 2 months out. Final trailer that month it's released. Now, if it's at the beginning of the month, then go ahead the month prior. If it's in the middle of the month prior, so on and so forth. But the mistake that they're making is they're really focused on advertising movies so far in advance. And a movie that really suffered from that was Godzilla King of the Monsters. When that movie came out, they advertised it a year ahead of schedule. They were bumping it out, and all the hype for the movie died down as the movie was coming to release. And that's my fear for this movie. So now that it reached 400 million views, are they gonna try to maintain the hype with releasing another trailer 3 months from now? Then we're 6 months away, and then 3 months after that, and I don't like that. I want them to get all the viewers from people interested in this movie ready to go see this right now. Imagine if this movie was going to be released in a month, or imagine this movie was going to be released in two to 3 months. Imagine the amount of audience members that would go see it just based off of 400 million views and hype building up to it. They're wasting time. They're wasting their efforts because the movie news cycle is quick. It goes like this, and it will be forgotten, sadly. But again, I am excited for the movie. But let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with me that they're wasting their time advertising a movie 9 to 10 months out, or a year out, or do you think that they probably know better? They've been doing this for years. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down. Moving on to our next movie news topic. If you had not heard, Eli Roth, you don't know who Eli Roth is, he was, let me look up his IMDb so we could show you who Eli Roth is, guys. He's a horror film director. Oh, he's a director, but he's mostly known for some of his horror films. Let's look up his IMDb. You maybe recognize him from, what's that movie? Quentin Tarantino movie. It's Inglourious Bastards. That's the one. Sorry, I forgot what it was called for a second. But yeah, if you want to check out his IMDb here, let's go ahead and take a look at that. We'll look at his directing specifically. He did the Borderlands movie recently. He did Thanksgiving. He's mostly well known for the following movies down here, which are Cabin Fever, Hostile, and some of the Grindhouse movies as well. Which he did the Grindhouse movie. He directed Thanksgiving all the way back in 2007, and then he finally got the movie to be made in 2023, which is really cool. He's also done movies like The House of the Castle Walls. You get my point. Knock Knock with Keanu Reeves. He's a good, decent director, and he makes decent films. But it looks like he recently did, I think, was it a Kickstarter or something, where he is now starting his own indie studio called The Horror Section, which I think is a really cool indie studio name myself. And he's recently acquired Jimmy and Stiggs, which is a horror movie based on aliens, directed and starring Joe Begos. But the most interesting thing for me about this was the fact that Eli Roth is making his own indie studio and funded by a lot of cool people online who are interested in his projects and what he wants to do. And I know it is his goal to release about excuse me, I think it was released about 3 to 4 movies a year, and this one being the first. Now, I don't think this movie's going to, blow anyone's socks off or do all that well, because I've never heard of it, honestly. But I think it's cool. He's making moves, and I think that's really good. So I'm excited to see what he has coming down the pipeline for his new indie studio. And it's nice to see a creative mind like Eli Roth have access to his own studio. He can do his own creative things and make his own decisions, not really focus on listening to studio heads, because he will be the studio head. So I think that's really fun and really interesting from him, and hopefully we get some really good horror movie projects out of it. That being said, we're moving on to our next movie news topic of the day, which is, it looks like Night at the Museum is going to be getting a reimagining from writer Tipper Coley, which I looked him up. He hasn't really done a lot as far as writing is concerned. I'll bring up his IMDb so you guys could take a look at what he's worked on if you're curious. And I don't know why they call these things reimagining. It's a remake. Like they're afraid of the term remake, so they're using the term reimagining and things like that. I don't know why. He was a writer on Stuber. These ones. That's basically all he's done. Some Kevin Hart stuff. And yeah, he doesn't have a lot going on. That's not to knock his writing skills, but nothing set in stone proven that he can handle something like this. Stuber wasn't a great film necessarily. It wasn't that funny in my opinion. If you like Stuber, but that's great. But me, for me myself, I didn't really enjoy it. So I'm very curious what his take on Night at the Museum is going to be. And it's sad because I would like another Ben Stiller one because he just does a phenomenal job, and I like those movies. But I think I don't mind remakes. I don't mind people taking a crack at other movies and things like that. I think it's phenomenal to see other people take cracks at stories to kind of tell it from a different perspective or tell it in a different way. So I think that's really cool and fun that we get to see that, and hopefully this movie ends up being good. But yeah, just so you know, Night at the Museum remakes on the way or in the works. Moving on to our last topic of the day. And our last topic of the day is last night I had the privilege of watching Superman in theaters in IMAX down the street here from my house at an IMAX screening. My first time at that theater. While we did have an issue with double booked seats, it seemed like quite a bit of the theater was double booked for seating. The theater was able to work it out. So sadly, I didn't have the best seats because my original seats that I purchased, people were already sitting there. So I had to sit in a worse spot. But luckily, I'll probably have to go watch the movie again because I just want to be able to encapsulize everything from a better seat, if that makes sense. But from what I did see, I am in agreement with the Rotten Tomato score being at an 85%. Now, me, in a thumbs up, thumbs down world, I mentioned this on a short I give this movie a thumbs up. I really enjoyed it. I had a good time at the movie theaters. I'm sure you guys will. And the audience rating, it seems to be higher at a 96%, which is really good. Now, a lot of people will probably compare this movie to Man of Steel, the other Superman movies. Now, personally, I am a Man of Steel fan. I love that movie. I think it's one of the best comic movies made. And if you're asking me which one's better, I prefer Man of Steel over this one only because it's more realistic. Not knocking this one at all. This one's phenomenal, but it's very comic booky. I might get into some minor spoilers right now. As far as what I mean by the comic booky feel, there's a scene in this movie where Superman saves a squirrel. You know, if you don't want to know about little things like that, I'm gonna mention little sneak peeks like that right now. So if you don't want to know shit like that, please go ahead and move on and check out the movie for yourself. It releases tomorrow or Friday. But yeah, there's a scene where he saves a squirrel, and it's really nice to see, you know, the Superman saving the cat, saving the squirrel, saving the dog, and doing little small things like that, as opposed to just, you know, that's the one fault of Man of Steel is it was very dark and it didn't show him really trying super hard to save people, but he did, but it made it real more realistic. Anyways, the point being is this one really focused on the comic book aspect of Superman. He really is the Boy Scout in this movie. Now we didn't get a lot of Clark Kent. I was hoping for a little more Clark Kent aspect of him, but it really throws you. This movie really throws you into the world. You know, they start boots on the ground. It's not the typical first movie where they build up the characters, where they build up things from the moment you see them on screen. No, there's backstories to Lex. He's been studying Superman for however long. Superman's been on the scene. Superman's been working for the last 3 years, so he has some experience. And you know, so you start this movie just going, and it goes by quick, and a lot of things are happening. And while it does make sense, story wise, the flow, it is a bit overwhelming, you know, for an initial movie viewer. You know, I was watching it with my girlfriend, my sister-in-law, and my brother, and yeah, they felt it was a bit fast-paced as well in the beginning. A lot going on all at once, a couple corny lines here and there, but overall, just a fun, exciting, interesting movie, and I cannot wait to see what they do next. If I'm going to give it a score out of 10, I would give it an 8 out of 10. Now, mind you, we live in a 10 out of 10 world, so a lot of people will be, oh, you didn't like the movie. For me, a 5 out of 10 is a middle of the road movie. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just cool. I don't do this whole a 6 out of 10 is a bad movie. It's not a bad movie. A 6 out of 10 is a good movie. If good and bad 5 is in the middle of good and bad. Anything below 5 is bad. Anything above 5 is good. That's how I see it. So for me, 8 out of 10 is a really, really solid, great movie. And if you want to know examples of what my 10 out of 10 movies would be, maybe I'm biased because I grew up on them, but The Lord of the Rings, 10 out of 10 movies for me. Specifically, Return of the King. Great fuck. Mind you, I do have my own issues with it as far as the long ass endings, but that's just an example of a movie I feel would be a 10 out of 10. All the Lord of the Rings movies are 10 out of 10s for me. They're phenomenal. But yeah, I love this Superman movie. I can't wait to see what they do next. And there are two, like, there's a post credit scene and an end credit scene. If you're interested, they're not worth staying for if you want to leave. So go ahead. It doesn't really tease anything in the future. They're more cool little snippets. Snippets. Cool little scenes. Anyways, but yeah, that does it for my review of Superman, guys. I hope you guys get a chance to check it out and come back into the comment section below and let me know what you guys thought of the Superman movie. And I'm sorry, I was supposed to be on my camera for that. I was probably on the screen, but you know, we all make mistakes. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of the Superman movie. If you get a chance to look at it this weekend, maybe we can have a whole spoiler episode discussion. If you guys are interested in that, that would be something I'd be very interested in doing. Maybe taking what you guys think and giving my commentary on it, or just letting other people know what you guys feel for the movie. But that does it for nope, yeah. So that's a wrap for today's episode of the Truly Odd Podcast. If you like this show, please like and subscribe. And always, guys, remember, stay true, be odd.